walked from us by violence and death, we reclaim as a place of life, community, and hope. Grace and peace to all of you in the name of our loving God. We begin our time together lighting the candle to remind ourselves, in the words of Dr. King, that darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. May this truth guide our hearts and our minds as we gather in this time of grief, acknowledging the tragic death of Eric Renz, confessing that this tragedy is in part a failure to create a safe community that is humane, compassionate, and just.
We ask that God may grant us peace, that in our pain and loss we may find comfort, that in our confusion we may find a measure of understanding, that in our anger we may find forgiveness, that in our sorrow we may find hope, that in death we may find new life. Amen.
The Lord is my shepherd.
I shall not want.
The Lord makes me lie down in green pastures.
The Lord leads me beside still waters.
The Lord restores my soul.
The Lord guides me in right paths.
Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death,
I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and staff give me courage.
blessed are the poor in spirit,
for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
blessed are those who mourn,
For they shall be comforted.
blessed are the meek,
For they shall inherit the earth.
blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness,
For they shall be satisfied.
blessed are the merciful,
For they shall obtain mercy.
blessed are the pure in heart,
For they shall see God.
blessed are the peacemakers,
For they shall be called children of God.
blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake.
For theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
So we come to the time of sharing, which is the community's opportunity to share your own reflections about this incident, about Eric, about your own journey and what this has meant to you. It can be very personal. It can also be about the community. And so this is a time for you to share whatever's on your heart or in your mind.
Sure. Not necessarily about Eric, although I met Eric and he was a very kind man. I just think it's a good time to remember that, you know, the holidays are right around the corner here, and there truly is no present you could get under a tree that would ever compare to the gift that we have every day, which is the gift of life and family and friends. And just to remember the important things and be grateful for what you have.
I'll share also. Eric was a special friend. He was very special to this community for everything he did. But for my husband and I, he was extremely special because right after 9/11, he renewed our wedding vows, our marriage vows. And it's a day we remember, and it's a day we celebrated with so many of our friends who also renewed their vows that day with Eric. He will be so missed by this community for everything he did. The only thing you can always say about Eric is he was always kind.
Eric was probably the most compassionate, kind person I've ever met, and I just want to encourage everyone to just think about Eric and do something that he would do this season or through our whole lives. He was so kind and he would help anyone. So get out there and do a kindness or feed the homeless or do something to honor him.
Eric was my friend. He was my colleague. This is his stole he would have worn when we served communion together on December 7th, but he wasn't there beside me because he was in the hospital. And I'm going to miss him. We didn't always see eye to eye, but that is not a requirement for loving somebody and for coming alongside them and doing God's work together, and that's what we did. And I'm going to miss him.
For about 6 years, I walked with Eric for about an hour and a half. And I want to share that he felt that his illness and the problem with his Eric was a very unassuming and humble person. He and I shared a number of trips in the car together between the hospital and the First Presbyterian Church, where we were both would go on Wednesday morning to a Bible study, following a men's Bible study. He always asked me, as we were getting ready to leave the hospital, may I have a ride home? Certainly, and last Wednesday morning, I took him down.
Eric was certainly involved in the community, really with personal and faith journey study, also and active in the community with Freezing Nights and other ministries in the community, including serving at the church, continuing to serve at the church. There's lots to remember about Eric. There's lots to reflect on for all of us. Anytime that somebody so easy to stand with Eric and say, I feel so bad for Eric, and blame the person who caused the harm, inflicted the harm. For my sense, my faith journey, I want to be able to stand with both those who created the harm and those who are the victims of the harm. Because both of those people are people who reside in me. It could easily have been me who was driving the car. It could easily have been me who was walking or riding my bike. What I really wish, what I hope for, is that our communities could be safer. And what we can do to make our communities safer, I don't have an easy answer. But I do hope that we can have a sense of safety and security for all of us. That this is a place where people can ride their bikes and walk and drive their cars and be safe and secure. And for a number of reasons, it's not always true, and so we gather. And I'm grateful that you all came and are here and part of this. Because that's part of building safer communities, is when we gather together and we share in this journey together. I am grateful for your presence. Would anybody else like to share reflections, time of personal reflection or community reflection? Shall we do the litany of deliverance together?
For the brutality of murder and violence,
Save us, O God.
from the hardship of poverty and loss,
Save us, O God.
from the corruption of sin and darkness,
Save us, O God.
from the terror of gunshot and stabbing,
Save us, O God.
from the bitterness of homelessness and empty pockets,
Save us, O God.
from the snare of mental illness and all discrimination,
Save us, O God.
from the silence of apathy and neglect,
Save us, O God.
from the deserts of ignorance and suffering,
Save us, O God.
from the arrogance of racism and greed,
Save us, O God.
from the burden of grief and despair,
Save us, O God.
and from all evil,
Save us, O God.
and from all evil,
Save us, O God.
and from all evil.
Save
Save
us.
us, O God. Amen.
So we come at a time of the blessing of the water. This is just tap water. I got it from the sink this morning. Nothing special about it. But what does water mean? Water's symbolic meaning for us is huge. Whether you're a person of faith or simply a human being on this earth. One person once said during one of these moments of blessings, I never thought about it this way, but Earth has always had the same amount of water. No matter how many years back you want to stretch, thousands of years, millions of years, same amount of water that it has today. Our bodies require us to have water, right? And so much of our body makeup is water, fluid. Mount Tahoma, Mount Rainier, is going to be filled with snow, and in the spring it will begin to thaw, and that snow will melt the water, and it'll fill the basins again. Because water is so important for us to be able to grow food and to nurture the land and for us to survive. Water carries symbolic meaning in lots of different scriptures and faith traditions, not just Christianity. Real powerful meaning, and it's for a reason, because water is a symbol of life. So as we continue with our service, I'm going to walk around this area and sprinkle, and I hope if I get you wet, I apologize now. But it'll be good. It'll be clean, right? Because that's the other thing that water does, is it cleans us. It gives us new life. So that's what we'll do, is I will sprinkle with water as you continue the readings. Who has that? Is that you? Thanks, Nancy.
We come together this day to reclaim this space of death as a place of life. This place where violence occurred, we are reclaiming as a place of life. This place that causes us fear, anger, and pain, we are reclaiming as a place of hope and community. Come, Holy Spirit, to this place. As we sprinkle this water, come, Spirit, and redeem this space and people from the violence and death that has occurred here. Return it as a safe place, a place of community, a place of life, a place of hope.
That which was taken from us by violence and death, we reclaim as a place of life, community, and hope. We pledge to work towards a world free from violence and full of love and hope. We commit ourselves to building community that is humane, compassionate, and just.
Beloved of God, go from this place in love. Go from this place in peace. Return no one evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Love one another as God loves you. As this is home to many of us, it is also home to God. God bless both us in this space.
Thanks be to God.
Our service is ended. As you leave this place, and take light and love that casts out the darkness with you, and be light for change, so that we might all be part of preventing further loss of life due to homicide.
Go in peace.